What would happen if a country didn't even try, yet the entire world still looked at it with envy? Not because of wealth, not because of power, not because of insane speed or ambition, but because it ranks number one in the world for happiness, year after year. But wait, look closer. A land where the sun disappears for months, where silence replaces noise, where calm replaces ambition, where distance replaces urgency. No chaos, no obsession with making it big. And yet this is called the happiest country on earth. They smile less. They keep their distance. No loud parties. No chaotic nightlife. No obsession with making it big. So why is this place called the happiest country on earth? Welcome to Finland, admired by the world, misunderstood by almost everyone. A country where silence isn't uncomfortable, it's a form of respect, where no one asks, "How much do you make?" but instead asks, "Are you doing okay?" Finland doesn't promise excitement. Finland doesn't sell flashy dreams. Instead, it quietly asks a question that makes the world uncomfortable. When you win the game of life by age 25, what happens when there are no more levels to beat? In this journey, you'll discover a version of happiness very different from what you were taught. A society so calm, it makes some people uncomfortable with themselves. But there's a glitch in this utopia. A dark side that the happiness rankings are too terrified to show you. Don't leave yet. This video is not here to make you admire Finland. If you zoom out and look at Finland from above, something feels unreal. This country is often called the land of 1,000 lakes. But that name is a lie. Because they call it the land of 1,000 lakes. That's a lie. It's actually 188,000 mirrors reflecting the edge of the world. 55,000 mirrors of water scattered across endless forests, reflecting the sky, the clouds, and the quiet. Here, nature isn't decoration. It isn't a backdrop for photos. It's not something people visit on weekends. Nature owns the land. Forests stretch so far that roads eventually give up. Pine trees stand like silent witnesses, unchanged for generations. And the air feels different. So clean, so sharp, that people arriving from crowded cities sometimes feel dizzy, as if their lungs forgot what real oxygen felt like. Finland has only 5 million people, spread across a country larger than many nations, with 10 times that population. No overcrowding, no suffocating noise, no concrete swallowing the horizon. Here, space is normal, silence is normal, being alone is normal. And that rewires people. When you're not constantly surrounded by others, you stop performing. You stop competing. You stop pretending. You begin to hear thoughts you didn't know you were avoiding. This is why Finns don't chase chaos. This is why they don't fear solitude. This is why peace isn't something they escape to. It's something they live inside. But here's the question no one asks. What happens when silence stops healing you and starts exposing you? When nature gives you everything, but takes away the noise that once distracted you from yourself? Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll step inside Finnish life itself and discover how this silence shapes the human mind in ways both beautiful and dangerous. Finland doesn't have 1,000 lakes. It has 55,000. More lakes than people have excuses to avoid silence. Only 5.5 million people live here, surrounded by forests, clean air, and space. No noise, no crowds, just you and your thoughts. Question: could you handle that? Comment yes or no, and don't leave, because this silence changes people. Now here's where the story turns, because sooner or later, winter arrives in Finland. And when it comes, it doesn't knock. The sun fades. Days shrink to a few hours of pale light. Some weeks, the sky never truly wakes up. So let me ask you something. How would you survive months of darkness? No sunshine, no warmth, no escape. Finns have an answer. They don't fight the cold. They walk straight into it. First fire. A small wooden room. Temperatures rising above 80 degrees Celsius. Steam fills the air. Your body feels like it's melting. This is the sauna. Not a luxury, not a spa experience. A ritual. Families talk here. Friends sit in silence here. Problems are left at the door. And then suddenly, they step outside, straight into snow, into frozen lakes, into air so cold it steals your breath. Crazy? Maybe. But this shock heat to ice resets the body, clears the mind, forces you back into the present moment. This isn't survival. This is how Finns condition the mind to face reality without distraction. Not by escaping it, but by embracing it. Be honest. Would you jump into icy water after a sauna? Or would you pretend you forgot something inside? Comment below. No judgment. Maybe a little. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. When darkness removes distraction, and silence removes noise, you're left with only one thing: yourself. Stay with me, because next, we'll step into Finnish society and see how this calm, this balance, creates not only peace, but pressure. By the time a child grows up in Finland, something very different has already happened. They were never rushed, never shouted at, never pushed to compete. In Finland, school doesn't feel like a battlefield. It feels like life. Children spend fewer hours in class. Almost no homework, no private schools, no ranking wars. Before math, before biology, they learn logic, ethics, how to think, not what to memorize. Sounds like a dream, right? And the results are real. People grow up calm, honest, reliable. A society built on trust and almost no emotional friction. Doors stay unlocked, voices stay low, crime stays rare. Now here's a question nobody asks. If life is fair from the beginning, what do you fight for later? Because in Finland, many people reach stability very early. Good education, healthcare, security, a comfortable life guaranteed, no extreme poverty, no extreme wealth. The top earn only a few times more than the bottom. Everyone lives roughly the same, and slowly, quietly, when competition disappears, direction quietly follows. Ambition softens, desire fades, purpose becomes blurry. By their 40 seconds or 50 seconds, some begin to ask, is this it? Not because life is hard, but because it's too complete. Be honest in the comments. Would you choose a life this balanced? If it meant fewer highs and fewer dreams? Because next, we'll face the side of Finland no ranking likes to show, where happiness has a shadow. Here's the part no ranking likes to talk about. Because behind the calm streets, behind the clean air, behind the perfect systems of Finland, there is silence of another kind, a heavier one. Finland ranks as the happiest country on earth, and yet, emotionally, something doesn't align. And yet it also struggles with high rates of depression and suicide, especially among people in their 40 seconds and 50 seconds. Strange, right? No hunger, no war, no chaos. So, what disappears when struggle disappears? In Finland, many people achieve life's biggest milestones early. Education? Guaranteed. Healthcare? Guaranteed. Security? Guaranteed. A stable, comfortable life already waiting. While someone elsewhere spends decades dreaming of a life like this, a Finn is born into it. And when you reach the finish line too soon, the race quietly ends. Ask yourself this: what happens when there's no pressure to survive, but also no reason to struggle? Income gaps are small. Status differences barely exist. Competition fades. Life becomes safe, predictable, flat. And over time, some people feel emotionally full, not fulfilled. A quiet saturation. No dramatic breakdowns. No public collapse. Just a slow question echoing in the background. Is this the life you dreamed of? Or just the life you settled into? Add long, dark winters. Months with barely any sunlight. Days where time feels frozen. And suddenly, happiness here isn't loud, which makes it easier to lose without noticing. Pause for a second. Be honest. Would you trade chaos for calm? If calm slowly erased your sense of purpose? Because in the next part, we'll look at how Finland confronts fear itself, from underground shelters to global tensions. From the surface, Finland looks calm, almost untouched by fear. But look closer, beneath the streets, beneath the quiet neighborhoods, beneath the everyday normal life. Finland is ready for something most countries don't even want to imagine. A silent reminder that peace here is not accidental. It is engineered, not a few, not symbolic. Enough space to protect nearly 1 million people, hidden beneath shopping centers, parking garages, metro stations, places you walk past every day, without realizing what they're built for. Why? Because Finland shares a long border with Russia, and history here is never forgotten. For decades, Finns lived with a quiet understanding. Peace is precious, but never guaranteed. So, they prepared. Not with panic, not with propaganda, but with calm planning. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Would you feel safer knowing shelters exist, or more afraid knowing they're necessary? Until recently, Finland stood alone, neutral, outside military alliances. But the world changed, and so did Finland. Today, the country is part of NATO. 30 nations now stand behind it. For many Finns, this eased a deep, unspoken anxiety. The fear didn't disappear, but it became shared. Here's the paradox. Finland teaches you to live calmly, to trust systems, to slow down, but it also teaches you something else. True peace doesn't come from ignoring danger. It comes from being ready for it. Stay with me, because next, we'll step back into daily life and see how a society built on trust, safety, and silence shapes relationships, love, and loneliness. So, let me ask you honestly, after everything you've seen so far, does Finland feel like a dream or a quiet trap? Would you choose peace over ambition? Silence over chaos? Tell me in the comments what you feel, not what sounds right. Like the video if this made you think, and stay till the end, because the final answer isn't simple. In Finland, Finnish love doesn't explode, it stabilizes. No dramatic confessions, no constant texting, no public displays trying to prove anything. Here, people respect distance, even in relationships. Silence isn't rejection, it's comfort. Finns don't rush into closeness. They take time, they observe, they wait. And when they commit quietly, deeply, seriously. But this calm has a price. Because when everyone values independence, asking for emotional help can feel difficult. Many Finns live alone, not because they're unwanted, but because solitude is normal here. Let me ask you something real. When does chosen solitude quietly turn into loneliness? And who gets to define the difference? In Finland, people can go days without unnecessary conversation. No small talk, no forced smiles, no pretending. For some, this feels like freedom. For others, emotional isolation. For others, For others, it feels like isolation. Dating here isn't about butterflies, it's about reliability. It's about stability, trust, consistency. Love grows slowly, like trees in cold soil, as strong, but patient. And yet, in a society where everything works, where life is safe and predictable, some people quietly crave intensity. They don't say it out loud, but they feel it. That's the contradiction of Finnish love. Peaceful, but sometimes emotionally distant. Be honest with yourself. Would you prefer a love that's calm and stable, or one that's messy, loud, and unforgettable? Because next, we'll explore how Finns search for meaning beyond comfort, through work, creativity, and purpose. In Finland, the first thing people don't ask is your job title. No one measures your worth by your salary. No one cares how busy you look. Work here doesn't give you an identity. It gives you time. It's a function. Finns value balance more than hustle. You work efficiently, then you go home. Overtime isn't a badge of honor. Burnout isn't romanticized. And, strangely enough, things still get done. Productivity here comes from trust. Employees are trusted to do their job. Managers don't micromanage. Meetings are short. Silence is allowed. But when work stops being your identity, a quiet question appears. If your job disappeared tomorrow, who would you be? In Finland, success doesn't scream, it whispers. No luxury flex, no constant comparison, no race to be ahead. Life becomes comfortable, stable, predictable. And for many, that's enough. But for others, it's not. Ask yourself this: if your job didn't define you, what would? Some Finns find meaning in nature, in solitude, in simpler routines. Others feel something missing, a hunger without a name. Because when society removes pressure, it also removes excuses. You can't blame chaos. You can't blame inequality. You can't blame the system. You're left face to face with purpose. And that's harder than it sounds. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll see how Finland looks toward the future. Technology, innovation, and the attempt to create meaning in a world that already has everything. So where does a country go when it has already solved most of life's problems? This is the question facing Finland today. Safety? Achieved. Education? World class. Healthcare? Reliable. Nature? Untouched. So, Finland looks forward. Not louder, not faster, but smarter. This is a country quietly building the future. Technology hubs grow without hype. Startups focus on solving real problems, not chasing attention. Ifradi, clean energy, sustainable cities, digital governance. Here, innovation isn't about domination. It's about making life easier. And yet, even progress brings another question. When machines become efficient, when systems work almost perfectly, what role does the human play? Ask yourself this: if the future removes struggle, does it also remove meaning? Finland's cities are designed to reduce stress. Urban planning limits chaos. Technology removes friction. Life becomes smoother, quieter, safar. But humans were never designed only for comfort. We crave challenge, friction, stories worth telling. And so Finland now stands at a crossroads. A nation trying to balance innovation without losing humanity, efficiency without emptiness, progress without emotional detachment. The future here won't explode onto headlines. It will arrive softly, like snow falling at night, silent, inevitable. Stay with me for the final part, because after everything we've seen, the happiness, the silence, the shadows, we'll answer one last question. Is Finland a model for the world, or a warning? So after everything we've seen, the silence, the balance, the beauty, and the shadows, what is Finland, really? Is it the future the world should copy, or a reminder of something we're afraid to face? Finland proves one powerful truth. You can build a society that works. You can remove chaos, fear, and inequality. You can give people safety, dignity, and peace. But Finland also asks something deeper. When survival is no longer the goal, what gives life meaning? Some people find it in silence, in nature, in balance. Others feel something missing, a fire, a reason to chase the next chapter. And maybe that's the real lesson here. There is no perfect country, only countries that reveal different sides of being human. Finland doesn't scream for attention. It whispers a question you can't ignore. And now that question is yours. Would you choose this life? Calm, safe, predictable? Or do you still need chaos, struggle, and noise to feel alive? Tell me honestly in the comments. No right answers, no pretending. If this journey made you think, hit like. Subscribe for more stories that don't just show the world, but question it. Because the most interesting places aren't always the loudest. Sometimes, they're the ones that stay with you, long after the video ends.